Tawheed or Khilafah? Which comes first? I've made a few videos recently about the coming of the Khilafah, change in the Muslim world, the political situation, and I'm getting quite a few comments about people saying, look, it's all well and good talking about the Khilafah and about political change, but we need to establish Tawheed first. Khilafah is never going to come if you don't establish Tawheed. But is this really accurate? What is Tawheed and what does it mean to establish Tawheed? Tawheed is a fundamental belief of every Muslim. It is the belief of the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No partners with Allah, His names or His attributes. And so establishing Tawheed in one's individual life is obviously the default position of every Muslim. It has to be. It's what makes somebody a Muslim in the first place. So if somebody's going to come to me and say, oh bro, should we work for Khilafah first or should we work to establish Tawheed in our personal lives first? Well, if you haven't established Tawheed in your own individual life, i.e. you do not believe in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you're not a Muslim anyway. And so you wouldn't even give a damn about establishing Khilafah in the first place anyway. You don't pray your salah and then believe in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after. You don't do your fasting and then believe in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after. In the same way, no person is going to call for the establishment of the Islamic Khilafah and then believe in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala afterwards. So unless you're a takfiri, I'd assume that you do believe I established Tawheed in my life, and that I do believe in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the same would go by and large for the rest of the ummah. And the rest of the Muslim ummah also believes in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that they, to the best of their abilities, establish Tawheed in their day-to-day individual lives. Now, as for establishing Tawheed in Muslim societies, this requires further investigation. To establish Tawheed in society would mean to establish the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in all walks of life, and to remove all systems, institutions, idols and laws of shirk that may dominate that society. For example, the institution of parliament in Pakistan is an institution of shirk because it mandates that human beings have the right to legislate alongside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In fact, the legislation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is only a token gesture mentioned somewhere in the constitution. Similarly, the constitution of Turkey is a constitution of shirk, and it actively removes any role that Islam should play and instead replaces it with secularism. These are levels of shirk at a system level, and they can only be removed at a system level of another way of life. To give an example, our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, they spread the dawah in Mecca for 13 years. No doubt the Prophet ﷺ established Tawheed in his own life. But they were not able to establish Tawheed in Meccan society. This is why even whilst Rasulullah ﷺ was in Mecca for 13 years, there were over 300 idols that surrounded the Kaaba, and the Prophet ﷺ did not have the capability to remove that shirk. So you see, they were able to establish Tawheed in their individual lives, but they were not able to establish Tawheed in Meccan society at that time. It was only later on, when an Islamic system in Medina was established, that the Prophet ﷺ, at the head of 10,000 men, conquered Mecca. Then Tawheed was established in Mecca. Then Tawheed was established in Meccan society. And it was then that the relics of shirk were completely removed, because it is now that the Muslims have the capability to remove the shirk, and they did not have that capability whilst they were living there before. In the same way, today you will find in the Muslim world billions of Muslims who implement Tawheed in their individual lives. They believe in the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, the systems, the laws, the institutions that are implemented over them, their basis is kufr and shirk. Their basis is not Islam. This is why we find such instability in the Muslim world, because the beliefs of the people are on one side and the systems rule over them are completely on the other side. The people have iman and the systems are systems of kufr. And that's why to remove these systems of kufr, to implement Tawheed in society, at large, at every level, comprehensively, it requires a state-level power. And this is exactly what the Islamic Khilafah is. A system of governance that will establish Tawheed in society. Constitutions that promote shirk will not be acceptable in a Khilafah. Institutions like Parliament, which gives the right of legislation to other human beings, these kind of institutions will be removed. It is only the Islamic Khilafah that will remove the shirk at a system level. In short and in summary, billions of Muslims around the world implement and establish Tawheed in their lives anyway. But as for implementing Tawheed in society at large, and this can only be achieved with an Islamic Khilafah that will remove the systems of shirk and kufr and replace them with a system of Tawheed. The Islamic Khilafah is what will implement Tawheed in society at large. As for implementing Tawheed in the individual lives of people, well then that is down to the individual with or without a state anyway.